Hello, this is 100 Yards of Football, Sports Talk Radio. I am your producer, Jeremiah Long, and joining me as always on Mondays is the legend himself, Florida State great, I don't know why I keep on saying that, Atlanta Falcons great, Bobby Butler. How's it going, Mr. Butler?
It's going good this morning, man.
Oh, great. So we've got a really terrific lineup this week, and I'm pretty excited. We're also going to talk some interesting history specials, legend specials. We've got a guest. Logan Landers has got a guest on there. But Mr. Butler, please tell us more. What do we got this week?
Well, it's exciting. Every week, so like we get better and better with our guests, and so it's awesome. So first of all, we have Logan Landers and guest Jay Stevens have a player profile on running back Jonathan Taylor of the Indianapolis Colts. Logan Landers and Vincent Turner discuss college game preview of the Auburn Tigers versus the Georgia Bulldogs. Don't miss that one. Jeremiah Long and Vincent Turner will go back in history and discuss the late, great Gale Sayers.
Yes.
Coach Kevin the Bull Jones will interview his former high school teammate and University of Georgia great and Chicago Bears great place kicker Kevin Butler. Bobby Butler will bring you our Legends segment with former LSU great and Kansas City Chief great wide receiver, Mr. Carlos Carson. Head coach Brian Spencer of Carver Bible College and Will Witherspoon will bring you our basketball segment with Providence great Abdul Shamsuddin, an overseas player.
Yes, sir.
On our special Dallas Weekly segment, we preview the Dallas Cowboys versus the Cleveland Browns with Vincent Turner and Bobby Butler. Vincent Turner and Bobby Butler will bring you the college game of the week preview. Alabama versus Texas A&M. That is going to be hot.
It's going to be exciting.
So it's a great week this week. Big lineup this week, Jeremiah.
Absolutely. And bringing us this lineup every week is our team of professional sportscasters, producers, and hosts, including Vincent, Mr. Football Turner, the guy that started it all here at 100 Yards of Football. He is an encyclopedia of football knowledge. There's no way that anybody could beat him in a quiz when it came to football. In fact, I think we may have to test that knowledge sometime and actually do a little quiz show sometime with Vincent, because I'd be very interested to see what kind of stuff pops out.
He's going to win it.
You know that. We've also got the man himself talking with us right now, Bobby Butler, 1981 first-round draft pick for the Atlanta Falcons, and also Florida State great, and just honestly a great guy to know. I really enjoy the shows we do together, the knowledge that you bring to the game, and just the perspective you have from being in the league for so many years. So appreciate you on that, Mr. Butler.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
We've also got our coaching expert, Kevin Bull Jones, who's going to be bringing us great interviews as usual. He always gives us everything from all the way on the high school level through college up through the NFL. And he's got another exceptional but different perspective because he really has the real good angle on the coaching side.
Yes, he does.
Yeah, and we've got our sportscaster, Logan Landers, newest part of our crew, but he has been making huge waves. He's actually been the one who's made huge connections outside of our group into other podcasts. So see him featured as a featured guest commentator on a lot of other podcasts and have him bring you back to our place so you can join us for 100 Yards of Football each week. And I'm your producer, Jeremiah Long. I do all the technical aspects of the show, set us up, get us going, and put us up. And we've also got our basketball segment that we've made sure that you know all the updated information about what's going on in basketball. It's the most unique season in my entire lifetime of basketball. So you need to know what's going on the ground level. So we've got Coach Brian Spencer and Coach Will Witherspoon, who every week are going to bring you a perspective on what's going on in basketball. We've got great interviews that they do where they bring in players. And we basically want you to know what all is going on, even outside of the world of football. So we want to make sure that you dial in with Coach Spencer and Coach Witherspoon. Those interviews are excellent every week. I also usually sit back and I'm just like, man, there's so much incredible history, and you get such a great perspective from people that play. Just like last week, we had Jody Meeks, who was on the 2019 Raptors team, NBA champion, and just to be able to talk about the perspective of what it's like to go through that process and what it's like to be on the be on the court and to really get that perspective. It's something that even though I'm a part of this show, I still like fanboy over it because it's just really exciting. So we come to you every week live Monday and Wednesday here on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. But guess what? Starting in just a week or so, we will have our near daily podcast edition coming out on all platforms, including Apple Podcast. We're already up on Spotify, and we'll be joining you on Stitcher, iHeartRadio, and all the other major podcast platforms. So wherever you find podcasts for football, you will find 100 Yards of Football. So that is a really amazing lineup. I'm pretty excited. What's your favorite part of the lineup for this week, Mr. Butler?
Well, I love it all. I can't wait to hear Coach Kevin the Bull Jones interview Kevin Butler. I know Kevin real well.
Oh.
And I got my own personal stories with Kevin Butler. I got some great stories with him. And so that's going to be very good. And then, Carlos Carson, we grew up together in South Florida. He was a great running back, great track star, great basketball player in high school. Yeah. And nobody offered him scholarships in the state of Florida. He had to go to LSU. Wow. And it was about second chance. I mean, they were looking at another one of his high school teammates, and they found this guy making plays. And so that's how he ended up going to school to play. And so, it's going to be a great week. I'm just excited. Gale Sayers was my inspiration to play the game. I don't know if you ever heard my story. And so I'm excited to hear you guys break him down, go back in history, and talk about the late, great Gale Sayers. It's going to be an incredible week, man.
Yeah, it's going to be a great week. Well, for everybody watching, please put in the comments what you'd like to see on the show. Are there certain players you'd like us to profile? Are there games of the week that are most important to you? What's going on in your world of sports? We'd like to know exactly what you'd like to see. So just hit us up. If there's certain Legends interviews you'd like, then please just let us know. And we're going to – we like to go to our comments. We like to look and see and get a feel for what our audience is wanting. And then we like to put things together in a way that we can be collaborative and we can do a show together with you guys so that everybody gets, great perspectives. And we definitely, one thing I want to make sure to mention is one of the reasons we do these interviews is not just to keep up with the current world of sports. It's to keep up with the history of the game, the way that the game is developed, and to show you how things have changed over the years. Because sometimes when these stories come across, you realize the way that things were done may have been a better way in some people's opinion. It may have been just a different way. But, to see that difference in perspective from the way things are coached then, the way that players played the game then, and the way they do now, I think really adds a great perspective on the game itself. So join us every day on our podcast and every week here on 100 Yards of Football, Sports Talk Radio. See ya.